After the wide-open spaces of Lake Guntersville, the Rooster Tail Talk Saturday Night Hydroplane League heads to sunny Florida, where the rough waters and tight confines of the Miami Marine Stadium circuit will put the fastest virtual hydroplane racers to the test. It's round 3 of the Saturday Night Hydroplane League Division I season, the Matt Johnson Design Miami Regatta. Hello everyone, I'm Daryl Kinsey Jr., the voice of the Saturday Night Hydroplane League, and welcome to Miami. After the flat-out high-speed action at Guntersville, the Rooster Tail Talk presents Saturday Night Hydroplane League competitors will have their toughest test of the season. A 1.6-mile battlefield with the tightest turns and certainly the roughest water of the season. But before we get to tonight's action, we first have to thank our great sponsors for helping us put on this fantastic event. Rooster Tail Talk is the presenting sponsor of the Rooster Tail Talk Presents Saturday Night Hydroplane League. Join host David Newton on a weekly tour through the fastest sport on the water as Newton sits down with some of the personalities that make this sport great. For more information and to listen to past episodes, head on over to roostertailtalk.com. Matt Johnson Design is owned and operated by Matt Johnson, who specializes in designing logos and liveries for hydroplanes and beyond. Johnson has painted 18 Saturday Night Hydroplane League schemes across both of our divisions and created graphics not only for HydroSim, but also for Division I recap videos like this. For more information or to get in contact, head on over to mattjohnson-design.com. That's www.mattjohnson-design.com. Thank you to Matt Johnson Design for sponsoring today's race. Before Division I came into town, D2 took to the water 1 week before for round 3 of their season. Let's see who conquered the water in this week's Division II update. Carson Kelly didn't take long to get over his disastrous Dixie Cup performance. The U20 Mountain Dew Presents Jacked Up dominated proceedings, winning all 3 of his qualifying heats and the final to take home the Tropical Cup. The Wind Volt at Mountain Dew Presents Jacked Up into the National High Points lead after Oberto Presents Wonder Bread sat idle. The night was also great for the U81 Holy Smoke of Kim Burnt and the U100 Pico American Dream of Luke Nelson, who rounded out the podium. Pico in 3rd and Holy Smoke in 2nd. SNHL D2 continues in Evansville for round 4 of the season, the Shriner Fest Regatta. 19 boats have made the tow to Miami. We are down to the final 6. All will be on the front line with the consolation winner in lane number 6. Let's meet the starting lineup for the Matt Johnson Design Miami Regatta. First up is Tim Johnson in the U50 Staples presents J-Boys Racing. Tim scored 899 points on 3 podium finishes in the qualifying heats, including a win in Heat 2D. Brother Matt is next up in the U10 Matt Johnson Design. Matt finished with a win in Heat 2A and 2/3 for 930 points. And next up is our defending champion DJ Miller in the U1 Digital Confectioners Presents Deft. Miller scored 150 points in his 3 preliminary heats. And Eddie Canfouche's U16 Cheerios is next. Canfouche scored 2 firsts and a second for 1,200 points out of his qualifying heats. Mickey Washburn is next in the U9 Miss Vandelay. 2 seconds and a third earned him 885 points to get into this final. And the sixth and final starter is Peyton Hopp in the U98 Mike's Hard Lemonade. Hopp had to go to the consolation run after first in 2 of his first 3 heats, but a DQ derailed him from an automatic berth to the final. He's on 880 points. And that is your field for the Matt Johnson Design Miami Regatta, as we are now 2 minutes and 7 seconds away from the start of the race. As we had 2 trollers, we now only have 1. The unanimous Vandalay sitting here, driven by Mickey Washburn, sitting there right before the entrance pin into turn number 1. There is the U50 Staples and the U1, and now the U1 is going to make a hard left and come back around to join the pack up here, as here comes Digital Confectioners presents Deft. Matt Johnson Design is there in the back, coming up on the U16 and the U9 there at the front of your picture. They are the 2 boats currently in the trailing position. The Vandalay has been sitting there the longest, but will that be an advantage as we get ready to go around this corner for the 1 minute score up? Remember, can't pass the exit pin of this turn before 1 minute, as the U1 slides up ahead, which will give him the best shot at lane number 1, as now all 3 of these boats will get on the power. We're missing at least 2. There's one of them. There's Matt Johnson. Here comes Tim Johnson on a flyer around the outside. He's going to try and jump all of these boats, as the score-up is going to be good and the fight for lanes begins. Here goes the U50 Staples against J-Boys Racing. Can he get the overlap over the boats to the left of him? No, he cannot. So he's going to be stuck out there in lane number 3. That's going to be good for the U1 and the U16, as they're going to be in lanes 1 and 2. Matt Johnson Design will go out to lane 4, and the U9, which did not get away in this fight for lanes, and the U98, which is relegated to lane 6, will be trying to get the flyer around the outside. So the 4 turbine boats up here up in the front, the 2 piston-powered boats in this field will be coming around the corner with a full head of speed trying to jump these 2. It's going to be a great battle into turn number 1, as we are now within 13 seconds, and the boats start to get on the power, as we are now at 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, let's turn them loose in the Matt Johnson Miami Regatta, and 6 boats fly towards turn number 1 for the first time. And it's going to be tight in there into the turn number 1, and 6 becomes 5 as Staples against J-Boys Racing goes pinwheeling out of the lane and out of this race. Meanwhile, up front, the U1 Digital Confectioners presents Deft of DJ Miller leads the way, and it is a scramble into lane number 2, into turn number 2. Here you are riding along with Miss Vandalay, as you can see the tunnel that she was trapped in between the U10 and the U98. As we complete lap number 1, U1 Digital Confectioners presents Deft is first. Matt Johnson Design in lane number 3 is second, and Cheerios in lane number 2 is third as we begin the second lap. Digital Confectioners presents Deft leads the way. Now riding along with Miss Vandalay again. It's going to get tight in there, and she pinwheels over, and out of the race goes the U9 Miss Vandalay. Back up front, Digital Confectioners presents Deft continues to lead the way, and DJ Miller is starting to pull away. Already a full Rooster Tail advantage over the U10 of Matt Johnson, as the U1 is in first. Second is the U10. Cheerios continues to run in third as we begin the third lap of the event. 6 boats started, 4 remain, and the officials are going to take a look at what happened there between the U16 and the U50. So currently this U16 is in third. That could change at the end of this. Meanwhile, down the backstretch, what hasn't changed is the leader, as Digital Confectioners presents Deft is starting to pull away from Matt Johnson Design here, as the U1 is now over Rooster Tail in front. Digital Confectioners presents Deft leads the way. Matt Johnson is second. You're going to see him here in a minute. There he is right there in lane number 2, trying to catch up. U16 Cheerios is third, and Peyton Hopp is currently in fourth as we begin the championship laps. It's going to be tough for that U98 to get through, to really find any sort of ground in this field due to how rough the water is behind him, behind all these boats that you see, due to how the water flows here into the Miami Marine Stadium. That's not really a concern, however, for our leader. Digital Confectioners presents Deft. The U1 has been in all 3 finals so far, hasn't got a win yet, but currently is in a good position. But Matt Johnson is closing, as we saw there in that last shot. He is now within 3/4 of a rooster tail. They've pulled away from the U16 Cheerios, and the U98 is now almost an entire turn behind as we begin the final lap. Digital Confectioners presents Deft leads the way into turn number 1, not really flying the boat at all. Matt Johnson Designs is second, and the lead has come down. It's now 3/4 of a rooster tail. Matt Johnson, though, he's going to need a good run out of this corner in Matt Johnson Design, and I don't think he's going to get it as Digital Confectioners presents Deft starts to extend the lead as we go into turn number 2 for the final time. Our defending champion, DJ Miller, has been in all 3 finals, and tonight he's going to pick up win number 1 of the season. Digital Confectioners presents Deft wins the Matt Johnson Designs Miami Regatta. Matt Johnson is second in Matt Johnson Design. U16 Cheerios will come across the water in third, and Peyton Hop and Mike's Hard Lemonade will cross the line in fourth. A fantastic final, and it was really one from the start. DJ Miller gets lane number 1, and he runs the table, leading all 5 laps and winning here at Miami. Here comes some congratulatory spots and bumps there from the U16. As DJ Miller's got to be happy. Our defending champion had a great run. Will extend his lead in the championship after that as we get the results. Here are your final results, and there has been a change to the finishing order. The U16 Cheerios there on your screen that did come across the water in third has been disqualified for impeding Tim Johnson and Staples presents J-Boys Racing, the U50. So Tim Johnson will get credit with 4th place in the last of the finishers. Eddie Canfouche has been disqualified, and Mickey Washburn will have a DNF for his incident. Here is your top 15 national high point standings. Digital Confectioners presents Deft leads the way on 3,699 points. Matt Johnson Design is second. Stu's Self-Service Garage is third. Miss Vandelay 4th. Cheerios is 5th. With Staples presents J-Boys Racing, Jif presents Mr. Pringles, Bucket List Miss Rock, Mike's Hard Lemonade, and Wounded Warrior Project rounding out the top 10. Your entire top 15 is there on the screen. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what happened here in the first corner of the race. Now watch the U16 there on the left-hand side. As they come into turn 1, he just kind of slides out as everyone just kind of compresses there, and the U16, U50, and U10 all have it coming together. And as we'll see it one more time, the U50 is going to end up sliding out and into the U10 and up and over. Officials did say that the U16 caused that, and the U16 has been disqualified from this event. So that will bring a controversial end to the Matt Johnson Design Miami Regatta. But we will have an interview with our winner, DJ Miller, in the U1 Digital Confectioners presents Deft. DJ, you've been in all 3 finals so far this season, and you saved some of the best runs for last tonight. 2 seconds to start the evening. You win in your final qualifying heat. Now you take the win here. We had the controversy on lap 1, but it really didn't affect you. Talk about that run down to turn 1, though, with 6 boats side by side.
Well, I mean, everyone was pretty much money on that start. It was going to be a really tight turn, and I was just trying to hold my line in lane 1, and I made it through and was out front, and yeah, it was smooth sailing from there, but it was rough out there. It's intense.
Yeah. So we went 5 laps, obviously, for the first time, and the only time here in the final, so you really got to feel what the water felt like with multiple laps, turn multiple boats out there. How was the racing surface there on the last couple of laps?
I mean, actually, it wasn't awful. So we did move the trailer boat up to try to make it a bit more clean for everybody, and I think that did help. It also had the side effect of making that first turn a bit tight, but yeah, it was I mean, it was fun. Me and Matt have quite a thing for 1-2 finishes in finals. We did that a lot last season. Did that in the driver high points as well. So we're probably pretty close in high points again after tonight because both me and Matt had a pretty good day. So yeah, you're just trying to find the clean water, especially when you come off the turn. You want to set up your line to be straight down the straightaway. So you're going as fast as you can down the straightaway to maintain that lead. So yeah, you kind of have to find where the wakes are going to go when you come off the turns.
Well,
yeah, I'm excited. It's cool to win at Miami Marine Stadium. It's cool to have this in this game, comparable to North Wilkesboro and iRacing. I think it's a historic location that has had many long and failed attempts to restore it, but it will live on in this game forever. So I'm glad I could add that little bit of history to it.
And there is a potential $54 million expansion coming to this facility, hopefully in the near future, as DJ, you have taken over the National High Point standings as of right now, 3,299 points to 3,224 for Stu Self-Service Garage. That is before they factor in the 400 you just scored in this final. It's got to feel good, and we know that to win a championship, consistency is king. 3 events so far, 3 times in a final. First time taking home the win.
Yeah, it's 3 times scoring plus 1,000 points as well. That's kind of been my goal. With this 10-race season, it's so long, consistency is going to be super important.
Well, DJ, congratulations. You are the winner of the Matt Johnson Designs Miami Regatta.
Yeah, a couple other things. I got to shout out my sponsor, Digital Confectioners, the game dev company out in New Zealand. They're on my boat. They're cool. And I also have to shout out my grandpa because it's his 86th birthday today.
The Roosevelt Talk presents Saturday Night Hydroplane League will be on the water December 5th, 2020 for the Thunder on the Ohio World Championship from Evansville, Indiana. For more information on where you can watch that event live, check out the UHL Facebook and Twitter pages, which will keep you updated on everything you need to know about where you can watch the Saturday Night Hydroplane League live. So that will do it here. My name is Daryl Kinsey Jr., and we will see you next time for more Roosedale Talks presents Saturday Night Hydroplane League action. Have a wonderful day.